Today is another one of the videos where I'm only using 3 flowers to create a fabulous design. Good afternoon and welcome back. My name is Sharon. It's lovely to see you once again. Now, I've started a set of videos where I only use 3 flowers and some foraged or shop bought foliage to create some floral designs. And you would have seen me back a few weeks ago in this tutorial here use 3 yellow gerbera. Now I'm going to use these again, but I'm going to create a very different style of arrangement using this tall black vase. One of the important factors when you're only using a small selection of flowers and foliage is that your floral foam isn't too big. The more foam you have, the more flowers and foliage you have to use to cover it. So I've tried to keep my floral foam to an absolute minimum. If you don't like using floral foam, then you will find plenty of videos on the channel using other methods and more sustainable and environmentally friendly options. But for today, I'm going to be using the green floral foam. Now, what I've done here, you can possibly see the cellophane just peeking out at the top. To prevent the water all draining into the bottom of my vase, I've waterproofed it by putting a layer of clear cellophane there on the bottom. Could be a plastic bag, but anything that will prevent that water from draining to the bottom. I didn't want to put a plastic container on the top because then I would have the container to cover and a much bigger piece of foam. So I'm hoping this is going to work for me. I've chosen a black vase because I felt that the link with the black in the centre of my gerbera was going to work really well. And I'm already limited to the length of the gerbera because I've used them previously in an arrangement. And these gerberas have come from a mixed supermarket bunch of flowers. So a bouquet that was bought in Tesco came with a few other flowers that I've used in other designs. But what I'm going to aim to do is to start with a group of the gerberas quite close at the front. Now with a vase like this, we often go tall, but today I'm going to keep the top section narrower, and I'm going to try and do a crescent sort of shape with my greenery. So this is my first placement with these lovely gerberas. There's a slightly orangey centre to them as well, so they are really quite beautiful in their colour and texture. And I've just brought a cluster of them down through the front. If I swing it all the way around, you can see I've still got a huge amount of floral foam there to cover at the back. Now, to give me a very bold shape alongside those gerbera, I'm going to start using 2 Fatsia japonica leaves, and I'm going to aim these right towards the centre so that they cover quite a large piece of my foam. I want to make each foliage type really work hard in this arrangement and cover as much foam as I can without using too many greeneries and different types of material. So that's going to give me a little bit of visual impact at the back. And then what I'm going to do is some catkins down there over to one side, and hopefully we're going to have an asymmetrical design. Now I've called the material catkins, and you will have seen me use these this time of the year. It's springtime. I keep saying it's springtime. We're still in January and it really is quite cold, but you might be seeing this video later in the year, more towards the spring. And what I'd like to achieve here is a bit of asymmetry. So we're going longer on one side, balancing off these 2 very large leaves there on the opposite side. So with a minimum amount of material, I'm making quite a lot of impact in the arrangement. And I'm going to drape a few on that side there to give me that asymmetrical balance and create a little bit of interest on one side. I'm calling it an alder catkin, but it really drapes down beautifully on that one side. And I'm going to tuck in at the back some shorter pieces of the camellia, and I have used the camellia a couple of times in arrangements. It's just about to pop into colour. It's going to have a lovely sort of corally pink colour flower on it. Once the weather warms up again, that's going to be a real treat in the garden. just a smaller bit. And if you don't have camellia like me, look for something that's going to give you a contrast in shape or texture alongside that large leaf. Ivy would be brilliant if you've got that in the garden. And then in the small little areas that I've got left there, I'm going to pop in some conifer, but just under this side here, I'm going to repeat the texture of that camellia, so that we've got the camellia on both sides of the arrangement. I didn't want to put too much fussy foliage there next to the gerbera because the texture is very similar. But what I am going to do more towards the back is drape some of the longer pieces of the conifer just around there, and then tuck a few small pieces really close to the foam so that I'm not overfilling the design and making it too big and fussy in the centre. And I'm hoping that with just a few gerbera, so 3 main gerbera to give me that sort of focal point, and 2 softer pieces of greenery, and of course those fatsias that I started off with. And I think with just a simple selection of greenery that hopefully you would be able to forage for or collect in a friend or neighbour's garden. You could of course pop out to a florist shop and purchase some materials from there, but when you're a beginner, sometimes it's nice to be able to use material that you can get hold of quite easily. Now I'm thinking I'm just going to cut off that section there of the alder, this one here, because it's making my eye move upwards rather than downwards. And I'm going to put one final piece in so that I have a stronger diagonal movement on this side, a bit of a floppier branch this time. And my floral foam was so small in the beginning that it's very unlikely that I'm going to get any more material in there. But what do we think? Just 3 main gerbera, some foliage from the garden, and I think that's quite a striking design. So thank you as ever for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you want to be updated every time I upload a new tutorial. Stay on because there's some photos of the design at the end and some close-ups of those lovely gerbera, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So goodbye for now.